Hey there, I'm Chris Kroll, editor-in-chief of Solar Builder magazine. Solar panels make a great pair with metal rooftops, as long as you have the right attachment system and support team that understands the nuances of the application. So today on The Pitch, we're talking all about solar mounting and metal roofs with Jesse Winternitz, application engineer with S-5. Thanks for taking the time, Jesse.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
So Jesse, I know S-5 is renowned for metal rooftop solar attachments. I know that, but maybe for the uninitiated, can you kind of explain like S-5's bona fides when it comes to metal roofs?
Yeah, absolutely. So S-5 is really the industry leader as it relates to attaching anything to metal roofing, whether it's a standing seam metal roof or an exposed fastened metal roof. The owner and founder of S-5, Rob Haddock, was the gentleman who invented the technology for attaching to standing seam metal roofs 35 years ago. So we did it first and we still do it best. We're constantly innovating new products for different kinds of metal roof. We have partnerships with the largest roof manufacturers in the United States as well as internationally. We test all of our own products. We have extensive testing and certifications for our roof attachments as well as our solar racking system, PVKIT.
I was curious if, the close relationship that you have with the actual metal roof manufacturers, how that comes into play in terms of the products that you come out with, or the testing, or just how it impacts what you guys do.
It's important for any of our users to know that whatever they're attaching to their metal roof, because let's be honest, metal roofs aren't cheap, is not going to void the roof warranty in any way. It's the product that's endorsed by the metal roof manufacturer, and that S-5 has the testing to prove that we're not going to damage the roof in any way. We're not going to overload the roof from a mechanical aspect. We're not going to penetrate a standing seam roof. We're not going to strip away the coating of a metal roof and leave it vulnerable. I'm happy to say that all of our products are warranted for the lifetime of the roof. It's the same hardware which is used to secure the roof in place when it comes to like exposed fastened metal roof. All of our material is either 6000 series aluminum or 300 series stainless. It's going to last basically forever. And in addition to that, since we do work so closely with pretty much every roof manufacturer, we're walking hand in hand with them when they come out with a new roof. So if we know that a new roof is going to be hitting the market, we're going to be working to make sure that one of our products is tested on that roof, or maybe even developing a new product for that roof.
You're the lead on the S-5 support team. And I was hoping you could first tell us about the support team, kind of the experience and background needed to be on the support team.
So the first thing I like to say is that S-5 is very much a customer-facing company. We want to be there to help all of our users out from start to finish. We have online resources available for people who like to do it themselves, but you're more than welcome to reach out to us over email, over the phone, and we'll really help you answer your questions as it relates to attachment metal roofing. But specifically on our domestic product support and application engineering team, we have multiple people with engineering degrees, extensive backgrounds with metal roofing experience and solar, both on paper and actually getting up on roofs and doing it ourselves.
And then when you say, help through the entire project, I was wondering like when the support team typically gets involved, like when it applies to solar, are you a break glass when things are going wrong team? Do you start at the beginning of any project?
Yeah, you can leave your glass intact. We're definitely here to help you out from start to finish. My team will help you with the easiest questions, such as what kind of metal roof do I have, or what kind of product do I need for my metal roof. We'll help you, get quotes or figure out where to purchase. From there, we'll help you design your PVKIT system array and plan it all out. As well as other kind of applications that we can help you out with, such as our snow retention, or to whatever extent we can with third-party racking systems. We'll help you with trainings. We offer, video trainings to pretty much anyone who wants it. We'll review your string design. We'll talk to your installers, and we'll make sure that you're set up for success on your project.
So you probably hear it all from your position. What would you say are the misconceptions customers have about installing solar on metal roofs?
I think the misconception I like to speak to the most is just people who are just not as comfortable working on metal roofs as other kind of roofing platforms. And hopefully by working with us, we can help show you that there's really nothing to shy away from working on metal roofs. Metal roofs are the only kind of roof which lasts longer than the solar, like I said. And hopefully moving forward, you're going to want to engage with more metal roof projects because you get to reap the rewards of installing a system, which isn't going to have to be reinstalled only partway through the service life of the solar.
Okay, so let's see how that engineering and application knowledge pays off in the form of PVKIT. Give us an overview of this product and how it optimizes in solar installers' time when they're up on the roof.
PVKIT optimizes installation time because it is a true lay-in-place system. With other kinds of racking systems, regardless of what kind of roof type it is, you have to space out and measure and be pretty specific with where you put your roof attachments. With PVKIT, you really only have to measure out and place your first string line for any given subarray. And from there, you're going to build your columns up the roof, and you're going to use your modules and your PVKITs as your spacing jigs as you install your modules. It is a railless system, a direct attached system. With metal roofs, you can use the ribs or the seams as the rails, so to speak. You don't have to ship and carry these heavy, long rails up onto the roof, and you don't have to pay for them. It is different. You know, people are used to rails. They know how to attach the MLPEs to the rails and zip tie the wires to the rail as they build out their row of modules. With PVKIT, it is just important to attach your MLPEs to the module frame whenever possible. You can attach them to the roof and put them underneath the modules as well. If you take that few extra minutes ahead of time to know where your strings are going to lie, how your MLPEs are going to attach to the modules, and before you bring your modules up on the roof, just have someone on your team, clipping wires up to the module frame so you don't have lots of dangling wires. It really is just a matter of putting the module into place, clipping up your conductor wires, and securing the module there, and you're done.
Drilling down into maybe a specific example, can you give me maybe a scenario where the PVKIT helped overcome a specific challenge or did something differently than was typically done?
We've had a couple of projects over the past year, actually, which I thought were really interesting and fun to work on, because both of them were rural projects on older buildings where the building owner wanted to put solar on the roofs. But it was called into question whether the building could support the weight of the system. So by utilizing PVKIT, which is about 85 to 90% weight reduction as opposed to a rail system, they were able to use the MLPEs and the solar modules that they wanted to use and not cut any corners. They got to reap all the benefits of PVKIT, like the time savings that we already talked about, and all the certifications of a true racking system that PVKIT is, but take advantage of the weight savings. They didn't have to change modules or use adhesives or do anything outside of the strictest building code regulations. PVKIT itself is really a one-size-fits-all. It works on traditional module frames all the way from 30 millimeters up to 46 millimeters. The roof attachment which the PVKIT pairs with, though, is going to be very specific to the metal roof itself. For any company which offers you a one-size-fits-all standing seam clamp, they're leaving some sort of benefit off the table for you. The clamp is either going to be too big, it's either not going to fit well, it's not going to offer optimal holding strength, or it's going to cost too much, usually multiple things. By taking the few extra seconds to talk to S-5 and figure out what kind of clamp is best for your roof and for your application, you're going to get the best of all those worlds. You're not going to be overpaying.
So then back to the support team, what's an instance or an example where the support team was hugely important for a project success?
Well, Chris, I think we do that pretty much all the time. I hope it's not a cop-out answer, but talking to EPCs and solar contractors is something that we do daily. And a lot of the times it's somewhat simple conversations, just pointing them in the right direction and getting them started. But sometimes we really play a role from start to finish. It goes all the way from helping them identify their metal roof to getting them the appropriate test reports, helping them design their system, standing next to them while they get their permitting done through the jurisdiction, training the installers, and occasionally, when appropriate, having an S-5 representative on site to make sure that the project gets off to a good start. Part of the training we do is, like I said earlier, reviewing their string design, making sure the entire project is optimized for solar, talking to them about the importance of prepping the modules, how to clip up their wires, how to attach their MLPs to the module frame. And this depth of involvement on project is something that we do weekly.
And so what advice would you give to engineers or contractors considering PVKIT for their next job?
If you're at the point of considering it, I would say two things. One, give me a call, talk to me. I'd love to give you a one-on-one conversation to answer your specific concerns and get a little bit more granular than I can in a more public forum like this. But also just keep an eye out for a project which is going to give you a really good first experience with PVKIT. A project with enough space and not a whole lot of obstructions on the roof that really lets us optimize the layout, put the modules in landscape, run our columns to optimize the length of your strings, and really give you a great first experience with PVKIT, I think is going to set you up for success. And once you have that down, you can jump into next projects, and your teams can be looking for other projects that look to be advantageous for PVKIT, and maybe you can save 30 or 40% racking costs on those.
So before I let you go, maybe in 30 seconds, to tell us how else you think S-5 is changing the game for rooftop solar these days.
In a word, I think it's innovation. The pre-engineered metal buildings and metal roofing industry as a whole, they're constantly innovating. There's roofs, hitting the market domestically and internationally. Obviously, we all know the solar industry is rapidly evolving and innovating. And S5 wants to be at the forefront of it. We want to give all of our users and the industry as a whole a responsible and an easy and a good way to attach solar to lots of different kinds of metal roofing. And when our roof manufacturer partners come out with a new roof, we're right there next to them developing a clamp that's going to be perfect for that kind of roof.
Well, hey, Jesse, thanks for the overview, talking about the product support team, the PVKIT, and just the metal roof application in general for solar, which I try to preach it as much as I can. Metal roofs last for a long time. Solar is supposed to last for a long time, and they just make sense together. So, hey, thanks for taking time to stop by and make the pitch today.
Absolutely, Chris. I thank you for having me and looking forward to our next one.